Good morning, brother. No news, I'm afraid.
I have a plan.
Do you now?
The Nords. You found them once. Could you do so again?
I could try, but I don't see how that would
They
help.
are the fates of these lands, are they not? I would know what they know,
You may not find them cooperative.
as long as I find them. Where do we search?
Midgard. But if Atreus is in Asgard, there's no getting him back without an army. We should be raising one.
Yes, nothing like a catastrophic war to improve the situation. The boy seems quite capable. Perhaps if you simply give him some time.
You are not free of blame here. You encouraged his foolishness, his confusion. I do not seek war. But if Odin has stolen my son, do not doubt the lengths I will go to.
Your nature has always been clear, Kratos. But you, Freya. War is a first resort. That's not the Freya I knew. I hope the Norns can give you the counsel you need. Perhaps mine is no longer of use here.
Tyr, stop. This is no time to divide ourselves further. Come, sit, please.
You have been quiet.
Frankly, I'm surprised you, of all people, would seek out fate. But your instincts haven't let us down so far. Let's find the Norns.
Who am I to offer him counsel? I only hoped to help the boy find his answers. And I failed. What's my role in all this now?
Tyr, you're at the center of this. You always have been.
Hang on! I got something for you. Sindri!
Coming!
Before you go traipsing off into the dawn, I thought you'd like to have this back. Well, don't go getting too cheery about it. But you're welcome.
I've collected what we need to find the Norns. Shall we go?
Madam Nithog? Madam Nithog, where have you...
Nithog. I suspect we may have consequences to look forward to.
Squirrel.
Ah, Master Kratos, my apologies. Madam Nithog's disappearance weighs heavily on my mind.
She a friend of yours?
Less a friend than another longtime tenant of the tree. She was here even before I arrived, and that was ages ago. To even think something could keep her away from her babies. Terrible, just terrible.
We are certain Atreus could not still be in Midgard.
I was just there and found no trace. If Odin invited him, he must have provided a way.
No, that is not the only explanation. Tell me where we find these Norns.
I discovered some of their threads near the frozen lake. I stashed one for spellcrafting, but we may also use it to find them. Just remember, they really don't want to be found.
Well, at least things will be difficult for a change.
We should take your sled and head to the lake.
Midgard. How I've missed the freezing gusts and constant raider attacks.
Well, that's because they believe Kratos is responsible for Fimbulwinter, and that killing him will end it.
Where would they get an idea like that?
Come.
From me, of course.
Of course.
Quiet. She is a friend. Now.
Better they get this from you. Once the wolves have the scent of the Norns, we'll just need to follow their lead.
I will open the gate. Stop whining.
Their fur is matted. When did you last brush them?
They are wolves.
And matted fur leads to disease. Take care of them, and they'll take care of you.
Brother, what exactly do you intend to ask the Norns?
How I may find my son. Nothing more.
I don't imagine it's a chance to clear up all this mess about prophecy. Perhaps get a second opinion on your alleged demise.
You didn't tell me you had a death prophecy?
When Atreus and I reached Jotunheim, we found a hidden mural. The giants, Faye herself, had foreseen our entire journey long ago. Who we would meet, who we would fight. All of it, as it happened.
But you aren't dead.
That image was from a time yet to come.
I see. You've never struck me as someone who fears death. That's not a problem, is it?
No. Death can have me when it earns me.
Then maybe it's not the future that bothers you. Faye sent you on your journey, and she made sure you'd see that image at the end of it. And you're still not sure why.
I wish to speak of this no further. Now that we are on the lake, how will we find the Norns?
Watch the wolves closely. See how their heads point the way?
Well, the Lake of Nine has certainly seen better days. Raiders have made themselves quite at home. Not sure I've been back to these parts since our great battle with Sigrun.
She speaks highly of that fight as well.
You know of that?
She told me all about it when she found me. She believed you could be an ally. Long before I believed it.
The Valkyrie Queen. An ally.
I'm the Valkyrie Queen, as Sigrun was stubbornly determined to remind me.
I should have guessed it was Sigrun helping you recover yourself. She's so loyal. Why? Clever. Tall.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't take a love goddess to see where you're coming from.
This thread of fate we are tracing.
It's not somebody's life, if that's what you mean. The Norns use it to mark their way when they're outside of the well.
The Nords live in a well.
No. The Well of Earth, their home, is hard to explain. It's in no fixed place. Entrances come and go.
Brother, what is it?
The wolves are distracted.
Kratos. A raider encampment.
Shall we take care of them, brother?
I was telling you about the Well of Earth, where the Norns dwell. A place wholly under their influence, where the intangible becomes tangible. Like being inside your own mind.
But if we go in together, are we in each other's mind? Not so sure I like the sound of that.
Mimir, have you encountered these Norns?
Not personally. Freya's right. They have ways of discouraging visitation. Odin made his share of efforts. Wouldn't talk about what he found. Either he gave up, or he wanted to forget what he saw. Freya, you mind telling us what you experienced when you sought the Norns last time?
To be honest, the details are hazy. like waking up from a dream. Mainly, I remember that nothing could be done to change my son's fate, which only made me more determined to try.
Brother, what of your story? You faced the fates of your homeland, yeah? The legends I heard about the ghost of Sparta were surely exaggerated.
Hold. The wolves are distracted.
Watch the fire!
Raider on the left!
Enemies to your left!
I think that's all of them.
These were cold. Empty.
Eating wolves. Atreus and I rescued ours from such an encampment.
That was kind of you. The Coal Raiders have been a blight on this land. The way they've abused its creatures.
Perhaps.
Up to you, brother. If the Norns know the future, no doubt they'll expect us to show up a bit late.
So, you believe the tales of my deeds are exaggerated?
Oh, not in the brazen bloodshed righteous fury part. The part where it said you traveled back in time itself to win a battle once lost. It's strange credulity, obviously. I mean, a rumor about Thor knocking the world serpent back in history from Ragnarok is one thing.
It is the truth. The threads of fate span all life and time. The Sisters of Fate abused their power. When I challenged them, they threatened to undo my existence. So I killed them and turned their power on Zeus.
That's the most dangerous and irresponsible thing I've ever heard. These Norns have no such magic, nor does anyone in these realms that I've ever seen.
Aye, can you imagine? If it existed, Odin would have it. And if Odin had it, we'd be 5 shades more fucked than we are already.
I would not ask them to change the past, even if they could. I only want information.
And that's quite dangerous enough, in my experience.
Quiet.
I just hope the Norns are somewhere indoors, and warm. Safe to say, no, I have not missed Midgard and Fimbulwinter. Thank you.
We will see soon enough.
Raider, red flag! Fire behind you! Right side, brother!
The way forward is magically sealed. Something in here is giving it power.
The hilt of a sword.
Brother, I know that sword hilt. Tread carefully. You of all people know how weapons can carry ghosts.
If it does not help us find the Norns, it can wait.
Let's keep looking. This way. I feel a trace of their illusions here. I can try to dispel it. Opnog. There's nothing here.
A false trail.
I'm afraid so. We'll have to see what else the wolves can find.
Typical Nornish mischief.
They know we're searching. I warned you they wouldn't make it easy.
And what's the hilt of a cursed king have to do with any of it?
Distraction? Coincidence? Who knows? I suppose they'd say we were fated to find it.
Freya, something your brother said. The Aesir burned him.
Yes. We weren't yet at war, but relations with the Vanir and Aesir had been hostile for ages. Freyr got it into his head that he could improve relations by sharing our magic with them. Vanir techniques for bountiful harvests, enough to feed their whole population. Getting set on fire was the thanks he got.
That's true. The Aesir were too undisciplined and impatient for the subtlety of Vanir spellcraft.
Hold. Prepare for a fight.
You're on fire, Kratos! It will pass! Droga.
Whatever.
Reminds me of tales of a cruel empress, one too angry to die.
We will see.
How was Sigrun when you saw her last?
She's still incorporeal, ever since Kratos set her free of her corrupted form. But she hasn't let that stop her from helping any way she can. The truth is, I owe her more than I can repay.
I doubt she'd see it that way. When we freed her, she could speak of little else but her reverence for you. Seeing you yourself again would surely be payment enough.
Isn't that the spear from Tyr's statue?
Wish for peace. Be ready for war.
Oh, that's astute of the elves. Tyr never sought war, but he knew he had to be ready for it.
Aye, best be armed than not. Impressive looking weapon, isn't it?
It is big. Mimir, you may continue. but Freya.
Oh, yes. Well, the Aesir grew all too easily impatient with the subtle agricultural magic Freyr had offered to school them in.
Hold! What is that?
Mimir, you may continue, but Freya.
Oh, yes. Well, the Aesir grew all too easily impatient with the subtle agricultural magic Freyr had offered to
Hold
school
on.
them in.
Prepare for battle.
Father, I had a thought. What if we took a stealthy approach to our next battle?
No. Mimir, you may continue, but Freya.
Oh, yes. Well, the Aesir grew all too easily impatient with the subtle agricultural magic Freyr had offered to school them in. So when things went wrong, they blamed their teacher.
Wait. The wolves are distracted.
Another Coal Raider camp. Kratos, we should do something about them.
Incoming fire!
Raider on the left!
That is all of them.
Kratos, tell me more of your homeworld.
It was violent and cruel.
Sounds no different from these lands.
It was warmer. do they whine?
Poor things. They can smell more danger.
The wolves fear that which can no longer hurt them.
The horrors of our past can be inextricable from the present. You have to understand that. That must be Tyr's helmet from his statue.
Win minds, not wars.
Tyr understood the greatest fight of them all was the battle for people's hearts and minds. Too bad Tyr has no interest in doing either these days. Right side! Left side, brother!
Behind you! Look out!
Now maybe the wolves will cease their whining. Accursed wolves.
I grow tired of your lack of empathy for your own wolves.
It's Demos, isn't it, brother?
I should not have told you of Demos.
You see yourself in these wolves, in their fear.
Let us keep moving.
Mimir, I never asked how it felt to lose your head.
What would you have me say? That it tickled?
Merely curious.
If you wish to derive some satisfaction from my pain, I'm afraid you'll be disappointed. Kratos swung swift and true, didn't you, brother? I felt nary a scratch.
Shame.
So Freyr was a guest when Odin burned him.
Not exactly.
Enough. We'll continue later. Mimir, what did you mean when you said Freyr was not exactly a guest of the Aesir?
I meant by the time they burned it, he'd been a prisoner for some time. Odin didn't mind locking Freyr up. He saw the potential of the magic and wanted to know more than how to improve crop yields.
Hold. We will finish later.
Look, another coal raider camp. We should do something about them and put your wolves at ease.
not fire, Kratos! It will pass.
Kratos! They're cheating! The chieftain. Was he the one who captured the wolves before you freed them?
I do not know.
Regardless, they should draw some comfort from that. You know, I would have beaten you
What?
earlier if Atreus hadn't been there.
Perhaps.
We could go again, find out for certain.
I would rather not.
I'll bet you wouldn't.
They're still scared.
Not of the raiders. Do not be afraid. You are safe. Good. Good boys.
Girls.
Good girls.
Is that a frost troll? He won't be happy to see us. Freya, you mentioned that Fimbulwinter had worn down some of Odin's curses, but you still needed help. Was it Sigrun who helped you recover your warrior spirit?
Is that how Odin liked to refer to the curse that kept me from defending myself?
Oh, I suppose that is where I heard it.
Would you like to know how that curse really worked? What it did to me? What it cost me to finally break it?
I'm no longer sure that I do.
That's correct.
Amir, what did you mean when you said Freyr was not exactly a guest of the Aesir?
I meant by the time they burned it, he'd been a prisoner for some time. It was a mob of lesser Aesir, bitter and short-sighted, who tied him up and lit him aflame as punishment for the sabotage they imagined him guilty of.
Let this wait. Stay alert.
An abandoned camp.
Whoever was here left long ago.
What did you find?
A list of provisions needed to prepare a meal.
A recipe? Who left that way out here?
Let's take a look at the ingredients. Perhaps the recipe will lead us to them. Looks like initials. Do they match the ones in that recipe book you found?
Ah, I knew I recognized those initials. The Ballad of Yari and Soma.
I'm not familiar.
An old tale, but a good one nonetheless. The carving marks their passage through this realm. We could always try and find the others if you're curious.
Either of you. What more is there to tell of Freyr being burned by the Aesir mob?
Well, obviously he survived. In fact, he used the opportunity to escape. But such an affront made war inevitable.
Wait. Let us look this way.
The oarsmen. Ugh. A monument to conquerors.
Made some lovely warships, though.
Use your shield!
Iron peace, not a golden war.
Tyr used to talk about how heavy the cost of war was compared to its bounties. He felt like it was his responsibility to avoid it.
Kind of still does, in fact.
You won't believe it, Mimir. This crest belongs to Fjotorlund.
Fjotorlund, you say? Now that's where Sigrun was from.
Go!
So this outpost is what's left of Fjordtund. Sigrun spoke of growing up with to join the Valkyries. Looks like there's a staircase on the other side. There must be another way around. Watch yourself.
Come to it! Come to it!
You know, brother, Sigrun told me her kingdom housed a great treasury, filled with the spoils of her family's conquests. Perhaps this outpost holds some of that treasure.
Is that all?
Did she say where?
No, just that they kept it hidden.
There it is. The other staircase.
Watch it!
Alka!
Perhaps those runes over there can shed some light.
Is that a key?
Wonder what lock that key belongs to.
No lock. It is broken.
Not broken. It's just split in half. Perhaps we could find its partner. Watch out!
Behind you! Watch out!
Freya, I assume it was Sigrun then who helped you retrieve your Valkyrie wings. Were they hidden in the place I guessed?
They were not. But yes, she did. Argued all the while I should let my anger go, but helped me just the same.
Freya, where is Sigrun now?
Impossible to say. She's on a mission spanning the realms in search of our lost sisters. Our hope is if she can bring their incorporeal spirits to Anaheim, we can find a way to restore them to uncorrupted forms.
Either of you. What more is there to tell of Freya being burned by the Aesir mob?
Well, Freyr certainly wasn't the same after that. At least for a while. His carefree ways were replaced with nightmares, paranoia, and lashing out. It doesn't excuse what he said at my wedding, but I do understand where his anger came from. How strange. I've never seen that building before.
Aye, very strange indeed. Let's take a closer look.
Wait. The shield that's blocking the entrance. It looks exactly like the one from Tyr's statue.
It's another piece of Tyr's likeness sent flying across the lake. Ended up lodged right into this building, apparently. All this must have been hidden behind the ice until that shield smashed through it.
Do you regret it, Mimir?
Most likely. What are we talking about in particular?
Giving up your body?
I regret exchanging my life for my freedom? That's a question I ask myself every day, my lady.
What about today?
Today? Glad to be out in the world. How else could I spend such quality time with you?
Okay, okay.
Freya, there's something I've always wanted to ask. What was it Hrimthur whispered to you?
Who?
Hrimthur, the son of Thormur, the stonemason, who disguised himself and built Asgard's wall.
Oh, yes. One of the many occasions Odin saw fit to involve me in a wager without my consent. I wish I could say that was the worst of his husbandly habits.
The wolves lead us here.
Let's see. I feel something. In this direction.
Feel what exactly?
Another illusion. It's coming from this wall. The Norns are hiding something. Kratos, I feel the Norns over here. Are you ready? Open up. Nothing. Another dead end.
A trap!
It's too fast! Use your shield! On your right!
That's all of them. You know, this search will only get more dangerous.
Then we keep looking.
Back to the wolves then.
What is up here?
I don't feel anything. It's not related to the Norns.
Could be interesting enough in its own right.
What's that outpost? Mimir, look. Another Fjotalund marking.
Aye, this place must have been part of Sigrun's kingdom. A first outpost preceding further expansion.
Seems it only rotates in the other direction.
Good! That's the way!
This mentions a spell that puts trolls to sleep, and a magic relic that acts as a sort of counter-spell. Sad to see Sigrun's homeland in such a terrible state.
You know, Mimir, if you want to take a tour of the kingdom, you might not like everything you find.
This kingdom is in ruins, overrun by blood-crazed raider clans. I expect to not like a great many things we find here.
Killer, you alright?
Behind you! Look out! Down!
That wisp is replicating!
Kratos, I see something. Seems it can't open. Wow. Well done.
Maybe those runes can give us a bit of history about this place. What? No. She never mentioned.
Look, the other half of the key.
I knew those key pieces would fit. Can't wait to see what lock it belongs to.
Another crane. Mimir, what did those runes say?
Secret. She loved another. A king named Helgi. Seems they were madly in love. But her parents wouldn't let them marry.
Oh, come, Mimir. You really didn't think you were her first love. The wolves have picked up another trail. Keep following their heads.
Now, if we could get back to the story of Hrimthur, the stonemason's son. I was hoping to get Freya's version of what happened.
There isn't that much to tell. I knew nothing of it at first, surely because Odin didn't expect to lose the bet. A mysterious mason had to build the entire wall in 3 turns of the season.
2! It was 2!
And if he was late, he'd be owed nothing. But if he succeeded, he was promised an audience with the queen. Or so I learned one day when Odin burst into our bedchambers, raging and half drunk before noon, telling me to get dressed and go see what the mason was. So, off I went, not knowing what had truly been promised or expected. Dagger stashed in my robe for emergency. And this mason, this giant in disguise.
His name was Hrimthur!
He just smiled to see me. And as you said, he whispered in my ear. He said the Aesir had killed his father, and he needed to know that one day they'd burn him. I pointed out I was Aesir now too, technically. He gave me a look, as if he somehow knew better and continued. He said he'd built in a structural flaw behind the Asgard Realm Tower.
I knew it! How do we make use of it?
We don't. He said Surtur would know what to do. And if Surtur's approaching Asgard's wall...
Then it is already Ragnarok.
Aye. Blast it. I hoped it might have given us another way. What a beautiful dagger.
Impractical.
Ceremonial. Now where have we seen an artifact like that before?
Tyr's vault.
Well, lady, I was curious about some of the flora we've encountered on our travels.
And you will remain curious. It's not my job to teach you everything, Mimir.
Look, I was just asking.
And you have been told.
Oh, you can say that again. Never seen craftsmanship like this before. Can't imagine how old it is.
Another gravestone. But this one's intact.
Aye, and with a keyhole tailor-made for the hilt we found. I was afraid of that.
This is the place. We need to work our way up. This way. There. Can you cut a way through the ice?
Oh, are the Norns making magical ice walls now?
No. I think the water just froze.
More of your friends.
I didn't tell them to be here.
Another raider! To the left!
I don't know what the Norns did to trick all these raiders into guarding them. Not that they have any idea that's what they're doing.
Freya, thank you for your help. I know this was not your focus.
The sooner we find your son, the sooner you'll be able to focus. I just hope it works.
Just the same. Thank you.
A fine sentiment, but write her a bloody note when we're out of the cold, brother.
Okay, I feel something. It's stronger this time. Over here. Open up. We found it.
Ah, isn't it always the third place you look? Is everyone hearing that creepy whisper?
It is like an itch in the mind.
It means we've stepped into their domain. Be ready for anything.
Illusions.
Projections, possibly. But assume nothing. There's no telling what manner of creature they've made unwitting gods.
Delightful.
Kratos, Ghost of Sparta, Bane of Olympus, Destroyer of Fate, Cruel Striker, Bringer of War, Weapon of the Gods, turned against his creators. He chases a redemption he knows he can never deserve. He cannot change.
Are we in our own minds yet? He certainly seemed real enough.
I hate to tell you, the parts in your mind will be real too.
Seems he was guarding that way outside.
This place almost looks familiar, but different. Like a confused memory.
A rather hostile memory at that.
These fates should know I will not be deterred.
Freya of the Vanir, Master of Magics, Queen of the Factory, Witch of the Woods, Frigg of Asgard, Destroyer of all she would hope to protect. She always finds Mimir of the Aesir.
Ah, here we go.
Counselor to Kings. Merry Wanderer of the Woods. Robin of the Goodfellows.
Let me guess. I'm a long-winded know-it-all and I cannot change? See? You forgot smartest man alive! I suppose there's one small consolation to this ordeal. At least we won't have to introduce ourselves.
Don't credit your reputation, Mimir. They see the whole lives of any who approach them.
What is that?
A phantom! Rogue magic! Aim for the runic core!
Bloody hell, look at that thing! It's still protected by the rune at its core! Need to take out those slings, brother! That's frost in my neck stump!
Now! Attack!
Not so intimidating without your springs, are you? Well, yet another gift of Fimbulwinter, I suppose.
The magic draining out of all of us has to end up somewhere.
This way.
The Norns are somewhere in that cave just ahead.
There's that itchy sound again. Normally, I don't mind ladies whispering in my ear, but this is positively irksome.
Anyone ever tell you that you babble when you're terrified?
Terrified? I'll have you know I'm at the very most deeply apprehensive. And breaking tension with humor is the sacred duty of a traveling companion. Heck, how very dare you! Babbling!
A door.
Oh, that looks official.
My boy.
Everything.
Alter, listen to me, please.
Stop! Why did you bring him here? You are not welcome here! Wait! Baldur, come back! Talk to me! I am so sick of your constant what you did to me! You will not shoot him. You will not harm him. Nobody harms my boy but me.
Brother, over here! Come get me! I want none of this! Imagine them thinking I had... Secret? Brother, hold off!
Why did you never turn on Odin?
But I did! I tried to stop him any way I could!
You served Odin from the day you met to the day he put you in that tree! You sought favor, you wanted his war, you watched him mistreat everyone, everything, and you never gave a damn until you turned on
I know, Sigrun. It's true, all of it. But for love of you, I became a better man, a counselor for peace, an ally.
Were you an ally to Freya in her suffering? To Sky? To Groa? Or to Tanya? No! You always took the side of the powerful men! You!
Brother, watch out! There's more of them!
Even now, you see a violent god in need and you can't help but hate him and call him brother! It's who you've always been! It's who you are! And it's who you
It is not her.
No. Of course. You did, Brother, the tree! It's pulling me in!
Mimir!
Brother, help me! Monster!
Atreus! I am coming!
Why didn't you trust your own son? Don't let him take me!
Atreus!
I'm scared! You see him the way he wants to be seen. I don't want him back! He's a murderer! That's all I had to do. And now he's mine. He killed his own family!
Atreus! I am here!
I'm not safe here! Oh, brother, help me! He's a monster!
I think it's over. Did we pass the test?
Didn't feel much like succeeding.
I see the door has disappeared.
Or it was never there.
They toy with us still.